let's move on to our main story. Every day in the news, we find out a new sordid detail about something that happened inside the White House. Like when Ben Carson bought a $90,000 beanbag chair, or when Mike Pence stood next to a painting of Dolly Madison without his wife present. And the only reason we know about these stories is that the Trump White House has been plagued by incessant leaks. And judging by his tweets, the president has had enough.
President Trump on Twitter, quote, "The so-called leaks coming out of the White House are a massive over-exaggeration put out by the fake news media in order to make us look as bad as possible. With that being said, leakers are traitors and cowards, and we will find out who they are."
So if I understand this correctly, Trump says there is no problem, and the people responsible for that problem, he will personally disembowel. Is that what that means? Yeah? You can't say there's no problem and also that you're solving the problem. Everything works perfectly down there. Then why are you popping Viagra? I just like the taste. Minty. Now, President Trump is particularly mad about this latest leak because, amazingly, it's made the White House look even worse than usual.
A crude joke that turned out to be no laughing matter. White House aide Kelly Sadler set off a firestorm with an insensitive remark about Senator John McCain.
Sadler was in a White House meeting last week when John McCain's opposition to CIA nominee Gina Haspel came up. According to a White House source, Sadler joked about the 81-year-old senator who is battling brain cancer. Quote, "It doesn't matter. He's dying anyway." Colleagues leaked her comments to reporters.
Wow. Who cares what John McCain thinks? He's dying anyway. Joking or not, you've got to admit that's in pretty poor taste. And this wasn't an isolated incident. You have to understand, Trump and McCain have had beef for years now. During the campaign, McCain said that Trump was firing up the crazies. So Trump fired back by dissing McCain for having been a prisoner of war. Then when Trump became president, McCain killed his healthcare plan. And then, even from the hospital, McCain attacked Trump's CIA nominee and said that Trump wasn't invited to his funeral, which you have to admit is the highest level of diss possible. To uninvite someone to something that you're technically not even really going to be at. I'm not going to be there, but I don't want you there anyway. And now, like, personally, I would want Trump at my funeral because I know that he'd hate being at an event that wasn't about him. You know, he'd be like, "I can be in a hole too, folks. I was also dead. They said I was dead, folks. 270 electoral college votes, but I got them, folks. I got them. I came back." So McCain and Trump hate each other, which is why when the story came out, the White House cared less about McCain's feelings and more about the fact that the story was leaked in the first place. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders held an emergency meeting to stop everyone from leaking. And guess how we know about this meeting?
Funny thing, over the weekend, there was this meeting on Friday. Sarah Sanders, press secretary, has a meeting, starts the meeting saying, "I know somebody's going to leak this," then goes on to condemn people for leaking that comment that press aide made about John McCain. And within hours, it's leaked by a group of people that included several leakers.
So now, the leakers are leaking leaks about a meeting about what leaked. You know what this is like? This is like in a relationship when you're having an argument about how much you argue. Why do we always have to argue? We don't argue. Yes, we do. No, we don't. And part of me feels bad for the White House because if you can't even tell people to stop leaking without them immediately leaking it, you're screwed. Now, the White House may be focused on their leaking problem, but the rest of Washington only has one thing on its mind.
Why not just apologize so America doesn't think that that is an acceptable way of speaking inside this White House?
Why hasn't someone just said, you know what, we're sorry?
If it were me, I would apologize.
I just wish somebody from the White House would tell the country that was inappropriate.
It has been 5 days now since White House aide Kelly Sadler made that morbid and awful remark about Senator John McCain's failing health, and still the White House refuses to apologize.
Wow. Day 5 and still no apology. Oh, they make it sound like the White House is holding the apology hostage. That's what it's. Day 5, no sign of the apology yet. It feels like if this goes on for long enough, Quincy Jones is gonna have to make one of those tribute songs to help get the apology out, you know? It's like, "Apology, we miss you. We wanna set you free." Be like, "Apology, I need you now. Apology." I love those songs. It's true.